This is Bill Brady speaking on the topic of the children of God. The house of God is made up of the children of God who then mature to become the sons of God. Want to distinguish between being a child of God and being a son of God. Where is the border, dividing line between being a child of God? In other words, when do you grow up to become a son of God? So we're going to look at child of God today as part of the process of coming to see this border between child of God and son of God. So what I've done is I've looked up the phrase children of God, and it is found 14 times in the New, wait a moment. I want this to be New King James, not New International. See if it makes a difference. Interesting. 11 times in the New King James, of which one is a title, so actually 10 times in the New King James. Go back and look at the New International again. It's 14 times, of which one is a title. I'm going to look at the New International. So we see one in Matthew, one mention in Matthew, two mentions in John, five mentions in Paul, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mentions in First John. So between First John and John, we've got 7 out of the 13 mentions are in John, and 3 of them are by Yeshua. No, actually, only the one is spoken by Yeshua, and these 2 are spoken what John wrote. Okay, let's just take a look at this. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they will be called children of God. Children of God. So Matthew 5, blessed are, blessed are, blessed are. Those who are peacemakers will be called children of God. This is a very well-known verse, John 1:12. Yet to all who did receive him, to those who believed in his name, he gave the right to become children of God. So they weren't children of God until they believed in his name. And once they believed in his name, then they were children of God. John 11:52, and not only for that nation, for Israel, but also for the scattered children of God to bring them together and make them one. So the other children of God around the Roman Empire that were Gentiles or Romans. And then Paul's usages, for those who are led by the Spirit of God are the children of God. So we're not just talking about born again, we're talking about born again and having received the Spirit. Maybe I can't say that, but those who are led by the Spirit of God are the children of God. And then Romans 8:19, for the creation waits in eager expectation for the children of God to be revealed. I've misquoted this verse many times, saying waiting for the sons of God to be revealed, but it's not. It's the children of God that are waiting to, creation is waiting in eager expectation for the children of God to be revealed. And then Romans 8:21, that the creation itself will be liberated, set free, brought into liberty from its bondage to decay, to death, and brought into the freedom and glory of the children of God, or other translations say the glorious freedom of the children of God. Again, children of God, not sons of God. Galatians 3:26, so in Christ Jesus you are all children of God through faith. Philippians 2:15, so that you may become blameless and pure children of God without fault in a warped and crooked generation, then you will shine among them like stars in the sky. Well, the children of God who are without fault that means not breaking any law, shine among those who are living on the earth like stars in the sky. Now, the question is going to be, are the children of God only those who are without fault, blameless and pure, without fault? This is talking about practice, not just position. It's not something you get by simply believing on Yeshua. You become blameless and pure and without fault because you are no longer sinning. See what great love the Father has lavished on us that we should be called children of God. This is 1 John 3:1, that we should be called children of God, and that is what we are. So this is a calling, a name that's placed upon us. The reason the world does not know us is that it did not know him. 1 John 3:2. Dear friends, now we are children of God, and what we will be has not yet been made known. But we know that when Christ appears, we should be like him, for we shall see him as he is. Remember that kingship has 6 elementary principles, and the 5th is Son of God, and the Son of God raising the dead, and the 6th rather is Son of Man functioning in everlasting judgment. So when Christ appears, it doesn't mean that he just appears as a king. He also appears as the glorified Son of God and also as the glorified Son of Man. This is talking about the appearing later towards the end. But it's interesting, at the time that John wrote this letter, dear friends, he's writing to a group of believers. Now we are children of God, and what we will be has not yet been made known. So he knew that we are children of God, but he didn't know what happens after that, which is Son of God. And there's more beyond that. Son of God followed by Son of Man, and then more identity that we have after that. 1 John 3:10, this is how we know who the children of God are and who the children of the devil are. So how do you tell the children of God from the children of the devil? Anyone who does not do what is right is not God's child, nor is anyone who does not love their brother and sister. So if you're not loving your brother and sister, then you're not a child of God. If you're not doing right, you're not a child of God, but it doesn't say you have to do no evil to be a child of God. We can become blameless and pure and without fault, children of God. But not all children of God are blameless and pure and without fault. Some are simply loving their brother and sister imperfectly and seeking to do what is right imperfectly, but they're still children of God. 1 John 5:2, this is how we know that we love the children of God, by loving God and carrying out his commands. So loving your brother and sister and loving God, the 2 great commandments, right? Love God, love the brethren, makes one a child of God. You don't have to do it perfectly to be a child of God. You just have to be doing it. 1 John 5:19, we know that we are children of God and that the whole world is under the control of the evil one. So this gives us some revelation about who the children of God are. The children of God love God. Children of God love their brothers and sisters. Children of God do right. They're not necessarily loving perfectly, not necessarily doing right perfectly, but they do come to the place of loving perfectly. There is perfect love for God and man, and there is not sinning any longer. But when you come to the place that you're no longer sinning and you're functioning in perfect love, you're still a child of God, one of the children of God. You're not yet functioning as a son of God. Son of God is beyond that. And children of God are led by the Spirit. If they're not led by the Spirit of God, they're not children of God. Again, you don't necessarily have to be led perfectly by the Spirit of God to be a child of God, but you do have to be led by the Spirit of God. You need to have started to be led by the Spirit of God. Eventually, you'll be led perfectly by the Spirit of God. But all these are still less than a functioning Son of God. And it's the children of God who are revealed that creation is waiting anxiously for them to be revealed. I should say eagerly, for the creation waits in eager expectation for the children of God to be revealed. So children of God are hidden, but then they're revealed to creation. So there's a point at which the children of God are revealed, but they're still children of God. They're still not yet functioning as sons of God. We'll talk about sons of God at another time, but I just wanted you to see the beginning and ending of the journey of being a child of God. That there's a journey from beginning to ending for children of God, and then you become a functioning son of God. And as I said at the beginning, the children of God plus the sons of God are the house of God. So the house of God has like two levels to it. The first level is all the children of God. There's a whole lot of those. And then up here at the top, there's a few that are functioning sons of God at this time. And the number of the functioning sons of God will increase over time because children of God will grow up to become sons of God. And we'll talk more at another time about what does the transition from being a child of God to being a functioning son of God look like? What is it that tells you that you've crossed over that border, over that line? We'll talk about that more at another time because I don't have all the answers on this yet. I'm working my way through this. Okay, so who are the children of God? We've just answered that question. And also put a seed down inside you of desire to grow up from being a child of God to being a functioning son of God.